LaserDiscotheque! LaserDiscotheque! You love LaserDisc, but you have to pay! LaserDiscotheque! LaserDiscotheque! We talk about LaserDisc, but you have to pay! VHS, no! DVD, no! Blu-ray, fuck you! CED, die! LaserDiscotheque! LaserDiscotheque! We talk about LaserDisc, but you have to pay! LaserDiscotheque! LaserDiscotheque! We talk about LaserDisc, but you have to pay!
Okay, LaserDiscotheque podcast episode number 3. I'm your host, Moyke Baud, and with me, as always, your other hosts, host number 2, because he smells like poo, Sam Hatch. How you doing?
Unshowered and ready to talk about LaserDiscs.
As always, I can always count on you, Sam. Also with us is just plain old Shawn. How you doing, Shawn?
Fantastic. Underdressed and undersexed, baby.
By underdressed, do you mean nude? Are you doing this in the nude?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
That's undressed. He's underdressed.
That's how words work, Monkey.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, let's jump right into it. What have you guys been watching recently on the old LaserDisc?
Well, besides the movie we're going to get to talking about later, Gattaca, I've been watching
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. I've been watching some of my RKO discs that I've been getting in the mail. I watched a great movie called The Setup, which is a movie about a fighter whose manager takes money for him to throw a fight, doesn't tell his fighter until the very end and says, I got all this money for you, and the fighter just says, go fuck yourself, and beats the guy anyway and then pays for it by getting... Well, you'll have to see it. But that's that and a bunch of it. Yeah, man, it's fucking really killer stuff. And I know you have absolutely zero interest in this one, Monkey, because it's in black and white and it's old. And they totally talk like you'd think people in a movie from the 30s talk.
Oh, yeah, that mid-Atlantic or whatever accent that they tend to do in those older movies that I cannot stand. Yeah. That is one of the driving reasons why I do not watch older movies. It's just, see, everybody talks like this. See, you're never gonna catch me live. It's just this. It's nobody talks like that. Nobody has ever talked like that. It's bullshit, and I won't stand for it. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad they got made.
So we bring it back.
Yeah.
So you can have all those shitty RKO discs and old ass movies.
Yeah, and I'll take any you get off your hands, man.
All right, Sam, what you got?
Well, of course, when Bill Paxton passed away, I had to dredge up some Bill Paxton stuff and watch Twister, of course, which is either celebrated or the bane of everyone's existence, depending on the audience. It's funny how polarizing that flick is. So it's either total like Michael Bay style trash, or it's cool Michael Crichton science fun. Well, of course, overblown because they can live through anything and everything. So it's completely over the top. But I'm a unabashed Michael Crichton fan, and it just captures that summer vibe for me, even though it's kind of a tease watching it right now in the middle of Sprinter here in Connecticut, but still holds up for me. A huge fan of all the insane characters in the film and just how fast it moves and how there's not really much of a real antagonist. Carrie Elway's character is just kind of misguided, and it's just defeating obstacles, basically, that sort of thing. So that was fun. I had to watch the CLV version. Maybe I'll fire up the CAV version just to mix it up a little bit.
I kind of fall into the Michael Bay craptastic.
Oh, man. I love it. It's just got such a great vibe to it. The characters are great. Just the way it works. The pacing of the dialogue is really good. So everyone else can pretty much suck it. So that's you. Twister haters. Suck it.
The dialogue in that movie is
I think it's amazingly written. I think it's like the way it builds up and how it establishes everybody, how it works him back into the group. Oh, it's amazing. You suck.
I just think some of the one-liners are awful. They just I cringe when I watch that movie. It's so bad.
It is so awesome that you shouldn't cringe.
Yeah, I'm with Sam about how wrong
come on.
you are. Because that movie is fucking great.
It is.
It's just great stuff. I watched it as well.
Bullshit. Yeah. It's this weird historical revisionism where all of a sudden episode 1 is great. according to most people at LaserDisc Forever. And they're also throwing out.
No,
there
I liked it when I saw it in the
Twisters,
theaters in '96.
Oh, jeez.
I liked it in '96. I like it today. Deal with it.
Okay.
So, anyways, I followed that up with some box set some a-hole named Moyke sent me called Shawn. So I had to revisit that.
Yeah. And also, I've never seen that actually, but it looks.
You've never seen Shawn, really? For those who haven't seen it, it's a.
Jesus Christ, Moyke.
It's an early 80s computer animated, though mostly not computer animated masterpiece. They kind of bit off a little more than they could chew, so a lot of the computerized effects are just guys in suits with like day glow kind of reflections and but it does actually feature a lot of like 20 something 30 minutes of low res cray supercomputer graphics that were impressive at the time and totally made me want to invent video games, except I never learned how to write code, so that never happened. I never turned into Jeff Bridges. And then, I just ended up watching LaserDiscs. But yeah, it was really cool. It's an amazing box set. A lot of great extras on there, and looked fantastic too.
Just seems like a bunch of guys in tights throwing frisbees at each other, but I don't know. I haven't really seen it.
It totally is, and I'm...
Yeah, what's better than that, man?
Describes my college years perfectly.
And I enjoy Tron Legacy more than the original, too, which is it makes me a part of a small minority, but whatevs.
Great soundtrack on that movie, though.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got that going.
We agree on that.
So, yeah, that's about it. That's about it last week or two.
Sweet. I've been spinning... most recently Dream a Little Dream with the two Coreys, which who I absolutely love. And it was my first time seeing that movie. It was it wasn't exactly coherent. It wasn't exactly coherent,
Nope.
But it was entertaining. I still find it entertaining. You could definitely tell the Coreys were well into their drug addictions by the time that movie hit, and it's almost sad in watching it and just seeing how far they've fallen since their Goonies, Feldman's and Goonies, but since their Lost Boys days, and it's a little heartbreaking watching them in that. But it has prompted me to acquire Dream a Little Dream 2, which I did see back in the day, and that's a cheesy favorite of mine.
Have you seen Blown Away?
No, I haven't. That's another one I got to see.
Oh, you got to get that.
Yeah, you definitely need that one.
Yeah, I might be on the Corey's kick now that I've seen that. I've got to watch Last Resort and all the other wonderful movies they put out. So, Last Resort, boy, that's...
Man, speaking of Blown Away, my brother worked at Suncoast, and he got a promotional shirt for that just said Blown Away.
Nice.
And my parents made me throw it away because they thought it was about fellatio.
Oh, man, I would have killed for that. Damn.
Yeah. It was so
I also
dumb.
saw the Criterion release of M, which is that old-timey German movie that I decided to give a chance.
Look at you.
I know, some fancy stuff.
Wow.
But I actually enjoyed it. I did like it. I do have a soft spot in my heart for old German expressionism films. So that is, I wouldn't exactly call it German expressionism. I think it's a little less so, but it's pretty close, and I did find it very enjoyable. So it was a tense movie, and I didn't think I would get into it that much. So that was awesome. I also saw Needful Things, which I caused kind of a stir in the LaserDisc Forever group when I proclaimed that I think a lot of people got the impression that I meant that there weren't many good Stephen King adaptations, and that's not what I meant at all.
That's exactly what we thought.
Yeah, no, actually, that's not.
Yes,
I know,
exactly
I know, and going back and reading it, I was like, "Yep, that's exactly how it sounds." But I had just come off of recently seeing Tommyknockers and Langoliers, and so I was kind of in this mind state that, oh god, there are just so many shitty Stephen King adaptations, but there actually are a ton of really good ones, and there are a lot that I love. So I didn't mean to give that impression. I was just kind of in the mindset that finally here's after a string of crappy ones, here's something that's really good, and it is really good. I absolutely love Ed Harris. Max von Sydow did an awesome job as the devil. Spoilers. He's the devil. and it just has a really... The ending is so fantastic. I don't know. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah, but it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, just the whole explosion at the end, and you think it's over, and he just calmly crawls out of the rubble and talks about their future and how they're gonna have a kid and how he's gonna fuck up his kid's life, their kid's life in the future. It's such a hard hitting ending to me. It's like there's nothing you can do to stop this force of evil, and it's very disheartening, really. But it's effective.
You got to get the TNT version now and check that out. It's a little bit longer.
Is it worth it? Is it worth the extra time?
It's pretty cool, yeah. Yeah, it is. It's definitely worth seeking out, but it's not like commercially available anywhere, so I think you can just get you have to get a bootleg. So,
okay. I'll see what I can do because I really enjoyed that. Last thing I'll talk about is The Apocalypse. Really cheesy sci-fi B movie with Sandra Bernhard, who I cannot stand.
Nice.
I can't stand her acting. I can't stand the way she looks. I can't stand the way she smells. I know that she smells like a falafel. It's just she stinks. I can't.
What about taquitos?
Taquitos. No, that's Maxine. Maxine definitely smells like taquitos.
I got confused.
According to you, Sam Hatch. According to you, I should say.
I was led into that.
Yeah, okay. Sure. I have video of you saying it. The only other people you're going to recognize in that movie is maybe Laura San Giacomo, but I swear they must have shot her stuff in like one day and then they just replay it over and over and over again throughout the film. I think that was a quick paycheck for her. And the only other guy is Lee Ehrenberg, who was the you might know him from the dwarf in that D&D movie from around 2000, 2001, somewhere around there.
Oh, the Jeremy Irons one?
Yes, the Jeremy Irons D&D movie. Yep. So he played the dwarf. Yeah, I think he was the best part of that movie, actually. But yeah. So anyway, it starts out pretty rough, and but if you stick with it, it actually does get interesting about midway, and then it does a pretty good job at the end. So Sandra Bernhard is terrible in it. I'll just say that. Her acting is awful, and her singing is even worse than she is on the soundtrack, so beware. But she's not so horrible that she doesn't ruin the entire movie, so I would say if you already own it, check it out, but it's not something you need to track down. So that's it for me, guys. Okay, so let's move into the movie that we all agreed we were going to watch and discuss. We need to come up with a catchier title for that segment, for sure. But
wow, that's a great lead-in, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of a mouthful.
It is, yeah. We got to come up with something catchier on that. But the movie for this episode is Gattaca. Now, who chose that? I forget. It's been a while. Was that Shawn?
Yeah,
that was me.
Sam did. That's right.
Sam did.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was one of those films that I did not acquire on LaserDisc until recently, but it is a 1997 science fiction film from Andrew Niccol, whose other work is really hit or miss with me. He's well known as the writer of Truman Show, and he did a film called Simone, which I pretty much despise, and a lot of other interesting things. And he's good at creating these kind of like thought bomb projects, and Gattaca was one of those. It's a dystopian / utopian future. Dystopian in the fact that everyone is genetically engineered to perfection, but then that creates a new version of racism, or in this case, it's genism. So we don't have to worry about racism or sexism or ageism or anything like that. It's all about the genetic purity of yourself. So yeah, it's like this Nazi regime in the future, and everybody feels really justified about it. And Ethan Hawke plays a man whose heart isn't that well because he was born naturally, and he's a second-class citizen because of that. But he yearns to be an astronaut, and kind of will go to any length to achieve his dream. So, and then it mixes in a whole murder mystery on top of that in the corporation he works at, which is called Gattaca, which is the science exploration company, and it takes its name from the elements of the DNA strand, like G, T, A, and C, are all part of guanine, adenine, and all that stuff. So it's very gimmicky. They come up with a lot of names for the people that are not up to snuff. They're like, or the people that steal someone else's identity are called like borrowed ladders and degenerates and stuff like that. So it's got so many ideas that it crushes in this thing. But that would normally drive me crazy in any other movie, but I absolutely love Gattaca. It's just divine, and the music by Michael Nyman is amazing, and it just crushes me at the end every single time, like no matter how many times I see it. And it's gorgeously shot too. So what do you guys think?
I was just gonna say I have the Japanese pressing of this disc because I didn't want to have to mess around with trying to find a rot-free US copy because this is a Sony DADC disc and it is prone to rot, as many other movies are. So it is one of my favorite movies. So I decided, I'm just gonna skip to the end and get a Japanese pressing, so I don't have to deal with that. It's a beautiful film. I mean, the cinematography is absolutely amazing. They do this cool thing where they kind of make it seem like the future by making everything look like it's in the past. So a lot of the cars are from the 1950s, 1960s, except everything has sort of a sheen to it that lets you know that this is the future. So it's kind of this cool thing where they go into the future by going into the past, and there's a lot of Art Deco style to the buildings, and it's just this really awesome look to the film that is just kind of otherworldly, but then at the same time, the subject matter and all that, it kind of seems like it's a real possibility, and that's why I think it's a very effective movie, because it just seems like this could be tomorrow, where these things are going on. So the film is really effective in that way, and Jude Law is absolutely amazing. I mean, he plays a character that has been sort of still thinks a lot of himself. He's from this sort of idea where he's genetically perfect, but at the same time he's physically disabled, and so now he has to relegate selling his identity to Ethan Hawke's character, and in return, Ethan Hawke is kind of his companion and takes care of him. You kind of have to wonder why Jude Law's family isn't doing that, why they're not taking care of him. I wonder, once he had his injury, if that resulted in them disowning him. So his character is very sad in that film, but it's an awesome film, and it's very poignant.
Yeah, I'm with you both about the design of that film. It's so simple. A lot of films, and actually the one we watched last time, The Fifth Element, they load it up with lots of things in the picture, like stuff you don't know what it is, nobody cares, but it's just a bunch of noise. There's a bunch of busy work in the background. And this one, it's all simple stuff. It's all clean lines. It's all 3 or 4 colors. You know what I mean? It never goes crazy, and I kind of like that. And the fact that it seems like a slow film, but it builds tension so quickly at times, like when he removes his contact lenses and then he tries to cross the street and all that kind of stuff. I just think it's brilliantly done, and it could have been horribly done. Like you said about the director Nichols, his other stuff is hit and miss with me as well, and I think it's just that group of people who made that film in particular were the only group of people that could ever make a film just like that one. Because the script sucks, to be honest with you. I mean, if you read the script, it's absolutely not something you would go, that needs to be a film, it's going to be a hit. And it even made those two people stars, pretty much. Uma Thurman, she's beautiful, but she doesn't do much. She's effective in the film, but she doesn't do much. But it still sort of made her a name. It's too
bad the movie was kind of a flop. I mean, it had a budget of about $36 million and only made back about 12 worldwide. So unfortunately, I guess not many people felt compelled to see that type of movie at that time. So, but I think these days it's kind of gotten a cult following. So.
Yeah, I was one of 5 people that saw it in the theater in 1997, and everyone was mostly excited about Titanic at the time.
Yeah, me too. I made my parents go see it. Yeah.
I definitely think it was ahead of its time, and I think that's why it's kind of recognized today as a pretty awesome film. So I think it gets the credit it deserves these days, but at the time it definitely did not.
It was interesting watching it on Laserdisc for me because that was kind of a DVD era movie for me. And I recently picked up a rot-free copy finally, and so it was a trip watching it on Laserdisc for the first time. So in the beginning, with all the overblown blues when they're showing the close-ups of fingernail clippings, etc., I was like, "Oh, what's with all this chroma noise and stuff?" But it was cool. It was a treat getting to see it through fresh eyes, as if I had picked it up off the store shelves in '98 or something.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier in Laserdisc Forever about what qualifies as a late release, and you were like, "Yeah, man, DVDs were around, and I was buying DVDs, so that means it's
no
late."
way. It's 90. It's 97. No way is that a late release.
Yeah, it was 98 on Laserdisc.
Well, it came out in 98. The disc did anyway.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I mean on the film. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Nowadays, people kind of come at lateness from a complete rarity. Is it pressed in low quantities or was it rare? And in my book, it's more we're people buying it And in my case, it was no. And I was a huge LaserDisc fan, so.
Yeah, right. And for what it's worth, though, we talk about the rot report on this one is really high. I was really scared the whole movie. I'm like watching the movie on LaserDisc, and I'm like, please, right now isn't the worst time for it to happen. And I got maybe a couple speckles at the beginning of side one, and the beginning of side two, I got this really weird. It almost was like VHS tracking for 3 or 4 seconds, and that's absolutely it. Besides that, totally clean.
What do you guys think about the transfer? If you had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, where would you put that at for the U.S. version?
It was pretty sharp and nice in my book. For maybe an 8-ish on my end.
Yeah, I was going to say it's typical of discs that are pressed around that time. It's as sharp as it gets, basically. I could have been a little better, perhaps, but I'm that's above my pay grade.
Yeah, I would agree with you guys. And the Japanese pressing seems to fall within that same spectrum, because I was going to say it's about an 8 to an 8.5. So I don't think there's a huge difference between the U.S. and Japanese pressing as far as the transfer goes, which is good, unlike Fifth Element, where it's the U.S. is better than the Japanese, unfortunately. So I was happy to see that they took the care on this one, and the transfer is quite good. So I was happy with that. Not as good as the DVD, but it's pretty close.
And so there are rot-free copies out there, so find them.
Yeah, there are. You might. I got really lucky. You might have to go through 3 or 4 different copies to get a good one, unless, of course, you go with the Japanese disc like Moyke did.
Yeah.
Now, Sam, do you know if that was pressed in 2 different places, like some of the other DAD discs we see, or? Unfortunately,
it's not like a great case like with Fifth Element. As far as I know, DADC USA were the only pressers of that. So there's no. It's like Air Force One. There's no American alternative. So the only other option is to go Japanese.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. What was your favorite scene in the movie? Shawn, go ahead.
Oh man, yeah, mine was the one where spoiler alert, I'm not actually going to say it. Somebody comes to the house and Jude Law has to climb the stairs to meet him.
Damn it, that was going to be mine.
Front door. Yeah, that scene is so. And like I said before about this movie, well, the director and the editing and effortlessly building this tension, and it goes from 0 to a fucking billion, in 20 seconds. And then by the end, you're left with these blue balls almost because nothing happens. Not really. Fucking great. Totally effective.
Yeah, how about you, Sam? Are you choosing the same one? Or?
Yeah, I was going to, because and when you were mentioning intention before, too, that's a prime example. I just remember sitting in the theater just completely twisting into knots when that scene was happening. But, it's not technically my favorite because of the way it just punches me in the gut, but just the finale, when Xander Berkeley kind of drops his bomb when you think everything's going wrong for this character. And just the kind of...
that was my choice. Yeah, that was going to be my choice.
And just the way the finale just crushes you with just simplicity. And just even the space flight at the end is just so simple. It's just a bunch of shadows and light, but it gets the point across.
Oh, but it's effective. Yeah, Yeah, it's exactly how I picture space travel in the future to be, just kind of like chilling on a plane.
Yep.
That sort of thing. But yeah, no, it's awesome. That ending scene is just so tense. You're wondering, is this guy going to put him on blast or what? But he just talks about his son and he kind of gets it, and he just says, you're going to miss your flight, Vincent. It's so effective because you don't know if he's gonna rat on him, but it's a fantastic ending. So that is my favorite scene. Okay, guys. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. Let's go into our top 5 music discs. Sam, theme music. Go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Top 5 music discs. The 5 of them, top 5.
That was just amazing.
Hell yeah.
So amazing.
just as good, if not better than last time.
Yeah, it was, dare I say, almost identical.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, now, Sam, did you struggle with this one? Did you have a hard time picking only 5?
I did, which is funny because I picked up so much stuff recently. If we had done this about a year or two ago, it would have been like a quick knockout of the park. And I grabbed a lot of stuff within the past couple of years that made it a lot harder. So, yeah, it was tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where the more you have to choose from, the more difficult this is going to be.
Right, yeah, and I know I was actually talking to Moyke a little bit before we started, and I was like, yeah, this was really easy for me because I only have 7 music discs, so I just knocked off the 2 I didn't like as much, and just put them in order, you know. That and I kind of cheat right in the middle. You'll see.
Oh yeah, we'll see. Okay. Cheating is okay, I guess.
Yeah.
So let's hear your honorable mentions. Sam, what was your honorable mention for your top 5?
Honorable mentions would be the Thomas Dolby disc I picked up recently, The Golden Age of Video. It's just a collection of videos.
God, that's awesome.
Cool
but
stuff.
It's so amazing. So I struggled not to add that. And then also all my Rush discs. I'm a huge Rush fan, and I've got every one of their LaserDiscs, but I couldn't just pick one out of the bunch. I just like them as a group. So they got kicked out of the top 5 because of that. And a documentary about Yes called Yes Years. I used to watch that a lot back in the day, way before there was Behind the Music. And the For Those About to Rock, Monsters in Moscow disc is probably another also ran. It's really good stuff with Metallica.
Jesus Christ,
and
I think
Pantera.
you have the same number of honorable mentions as I do discs in total.
How about you, Shawn? What was your honorable mention?
Mine is going to have to go to John Fogerty's Premonition, which is, like we were talking about, 98 being a late release. It's from 98, so it's got great sound quality, great video quality, but I fucking hate John Fogerty. So, there we go.
So why do you own it?
Because I got it for free. Actually, both of the discs that I dropped off I got for free. So I guess I'll give honorable mention to the other one since I'll mention all my discs on the podcast tonight. The other one is Grateful Dead So Far. And again, I just don't fucking like the Grateful Dead. I have no interest, but I got it in a lot, and it was sealed, and I got it for free, so I keep it around, like, hoping to absorb that good karma, like, bring more discs my way, because I'm in Florida where there's fucking nothing ever anywhere except bullshit.
Yeah.
So
So at least you don't pay for the discs that you hate. Because I didn't do that. I didn't do that with the Jesus Jones disc that I have. And,
I paid for my
nice.
top 3. I paid for those.
Yeah, my Jesus Jones disc is probably the worst music disc I own, and yeah, they're awful. But anyway, my honorable mention is MTV Party to Go Volume 2. Now, I kind of struggled between this one and another one that actually made my list. This could have easily taken that spot, but I think the other one edged this out just a little bit more. This one contains Sadness by Enigma, which is the most 90s song you could ever think of, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much any erotic thriller from the 90s had that song in it. If you're not sure what it is, go ahead and YouTube it. It's Sadness Part 1 by Enigma. It is long as hell, but oh my god, it is so 90s, and I just absolutely love it. It also has Set Adrift on Memory Bliss by... Oh, do you really?
I do too, Sam.
I do.
Oh god, I want it. Oh, I want it so bad. I gotta get that. Okay. That's awesome. That's some love-making music right there.
Yeah, baby.
While you're sitting alone in your Irish castle or whatever.
Yeah. So this also has Set Adrift on Memory Bliss by PM Dawn, which I absolutely love PM Dawn, and I also love the parody on Fear of a Black Hat. If anybody's seen that, it's both awesome songs. It's got some DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince on here singing Summertime. OPP by Naughty by Nature. Which, right now I'm thinking about whether or not I should have swapped this for the other one. This could have.
This is
I think you could probably
awesomeness,
interchange them. I mean, Good Vibrations. Yeah, Good Vibrations by Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Let's Talk About Sex from Salt and Pepper. It's just a lot of awesome 90s music on this disc. I highly recommend it, but yeah, just barely didn't make my list. So that is my honorable mention. So let's jump into our number 5. Sam, what was your number 5 music laserdisc?
Just because I know Shawn's going to be dropping some Japanese artists, I had to go and drop one myself with Ryuichi Sakamoto. with the disc Beauty.
Nice.
And if people have been into kind of synth pop stuff, you might know his previous band, Yellow Magic Orchestra. They were kind of crossover hits in the 70s and early 80s. You know, they played New York a few times, and he ended up splitting and going solo and then doing acting as well. He was in Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence with David Bowie and done a lot of great albums, a lot of great collaborations. And this is one of his albums from the late 80s, early 90s. And it's a live show from, I believe the show's from Tokyo, but really, really good stuff. The band's hot, tight, and just got a good, overall vibe to it, and some cool interviews with him interspersed in between. I had it on VHS for the longest time, and there was a YMO superfan from Los Angeles that had it sealed for like $5 on eBay, and he was just like, I'm never going to watch it. I just bought it because I'm a super fan and I don't have a LaserDisc player. So I was like, I will buy that from you. So I love that thing.
That is really cool.
I've never heard of it, but yeah, there you go.
You might dig it.
That's going to be my response for any Japanese music.
You might dig
discs.
it. You
think so?
I think so. Might surprise you.
Is it in Japanese? Like the lyrics?
Not all of them, no. There's like maybe one or two songs.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, well, maybe I'll check it out sometime. Maybe. Shawn, what's your number 5?
All right, so mine is Terence Trent D'Arby, Introducing the Hardline Live, which came out in 1988. You don't know who Terence Trent D'Arby is, man? He's like the Black David Bowie.
Tailspin Darby?
No, Terence Trent D'Arby.
Oh, I was gonna say tailspin.
Tailspin.
No.
Friends for life through
so yeah,
with another tailspin.
I fucking hate you guys.
Let's get a bear and grin. When you're in it, you win it in a minute. When you spin it.
All right, Shawn, go ahead.
So I'm just gonna, What can I say that's gonna be better than that? Basically, it sounds really great.
Tailspin. Tailspin.
All right, that's
sorry.
it.
Go ahead.
That's my number 5.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead and explain it. Go ahead.
No, I don't. There's no explaining. That's fine. There's songs. If you know who Terence Trent D'Arby is, you might enjoy it. If not, you probably will hate it. But I remember hearing him as a kid. My cousin really loved him, and like I said, I hadn't heard of David Bowie at the time, but now when I hear David Bowie, I always think of Terence Trent D'Arby, to be honest with you. Really funky stuff. The band is really tight, especially the drummer and the bassist. Sound quality is unreal, and there you go, number 5.
It's a nice disc. How many songs on it?
Oh, geez, it's like an hour long, so it's got 13 songs.
Nice, cool.
Yeah, right. It's actually it's a pretty nice little concert. I mean, obviously, you get in the middle between the songs, you get a bunch of them talking about themselves.
Oh, I hate that. I hate when they do that. I want it to be like a CD just with video. I don't know interviews in between. Fuck that shit. Maybe save it for side B or something. I don't know. But anyway, my number 5 is Bob Marley Legend. This is the best of Bob Marley and the Wailers. So, of course, if you don't like Bob Marley, you're probably not going to like this disc. But I absolutely love Bob Marley. It's something I can throw on in the background and, do whatever I got to do. It's great background music. His, greatest hits are on here. You got Stir It Up. You got I Shot the Sheriff, Buffalo Soldier, Redemption Song, which is a beautiful song in my mind. This is one of those 80s image, where they take the cover of the VHS, slap it on top of a giant disc.
Yeah.
That Sam hates so much. But I actually had the CD. I had the Legend CD when I was a kid, and it's a favorite of mine. So when I saw that it was on LaserDisc and it had the same track listing, I had to jump on it. So that's my number 5, Bob Marley and the Wailers, Legend. All right.
Nice pick. Yeah, I was actually, that whole time you were talking, I was having a flashback to Sam doing that Jamaican guy's accent.
Hey, man, give me some heat.
Give me some heat, man. I need some heat, man.
Oh, man.
He does that Jamaican thing so well. All right.
So well, it's amazing.
All right.
Astonishing.
All right, Shawn, why don't you kick off our number 4?
All right. So this one is Slipstream, starring Jethro Tull.
Not the movie.
And I sort of... No, not the movie Slipstream, no, but this video thing that they did. And it's funny, I almost end up picking something historically relevant each time we do one of these top fives. This came out like 4 months, so that means it was made within a year before MTV ever aired. And it's concert footage interspersed with videos of their songs, of like 4 or 5 different songs, where there's a video built around it, a music video. And it's pretty cool in that it does that, but I'm pretty sure that none of these videos have ever been played on anywhere because they all suck really bad. But the music in between, like them playing the show, I mean, Jethro Tull, I don't really like them, but they really kill it live, man. I mean, that lead singer is fucking going everywhere, doing everything. And, there you go.
Cool.
That's all I got for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Sam, number 4.
All right, number 4, we're going Ministry, in case you didn't feel like showing up.
Wow, I'm surprised that's so far down your list, actually.
I am too, but it is a classic release. It's pretty hard to find on LaserDisc. I didn't even know it existed outside of VHS until maybe 5 years ago, and I tripped across a copy last year. And yeah, classic stuff from Ministry, Al Jorgensen's band from the Mind Is a Terrible Thing to Taste tour, where the band was performing behind it like a steel cage, and the concert footage is just going for creating the chaos of it as opposed to showing you the band. So if you want to see some footage of the guys hitting the notes right, you're going to want to get some of the newer Ministry videos. This is just all about an assault on the senses. And
awesome.
Really amazing stuff. And yeah, it's great.
That's a pricey disc, though. I honestly thought that was going to be your number 1.
Yeah.
That was my guess. That was going to be your number 1.
It could be on a different day.
All right, guys. So my number 4, I fucked up. So the MTV Party to Go that I did for my runner-up is actually my number 4.
Is your 4?
So I'm gonna do my honorable mention now. And the reason I mixed it up is because this is the MTV Party to Go Volume 1. So just swap those. Okay. So here's my honorable mention.
The fucking comedy of errors.
Yeah, it's funny, when I was talking about my honorable mention before, I was like, oh god, this is awesome. Why? Is this right? Because I don't remember liking my honorable mention this much.
This is too good.
This is too good to be an honorable mention. So that one is my number 4, but here's my honorable mention. It's MTV Party to Go Volume 1. So this has, I think, fewer songs on it that I like. This has Tom's Diner by DNA featuring Suzanne Vega, which I think is an amazing song. That's
cool jam.
Yeah, it is. I like it a lot. Again, it's one of those really 90s songs that, kind of identifies the era. This has the Humpty Dance by Digital Underground, which I think is...
Fuck yeah.
So, that's why I had a hard time choosing between the two. So really, you could probably switch these out. I think I like Volume 2 a little bit better. This also has Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode, which is a great song by them. And but there's really only 3 songs on here that I really like. The rest are just kind of bleh. Even the Paula Abdul song is lame. So there is
which Paula Abdul song is it?
It's
yeah, tell us.
It's none of the ones you would think that it is. This one's Knocked Out, which
okay. I thought it was going to be opposite.
You would think so. You would think that would be one they'd put on there, Straight Up, whatever. But no, this is Knocked Out, which I've never heard. It's not very good. You got Vanilla.
It's okay, Jam.
You got Vanilla Ice on here doing Play That Funky Music. They've got some big names on here, but they're singing songs nobody cares about. So that's my honorable mention. So if you want to know what my number 4 is, rewind and listen to my honorable mention. That's my number 4. So sorry.
You done fucked up. Moyke.
Yeah, I know. I done goofed. All right, guys. Number 3, Sam.
Number 3 for me is a disc called Toward the Within from Dead Can Dance. And Dead Can Dance are an amazing group between Lisa Gerrard and Brendan Perry. Brendan Perry's an Irish musician transplanted to Australia where he hooked up with Lisa Gerrard. And Lisa Gerrard is known for doing a lot of vocal work on films like Gladiator and any kind of ethereal, haunting vocals. It's usually either her or someone ripping her off. And they were a great band, and I had the pleasure of seeing them live once, and this was the closest thing I could get to that for a long time. Came out in the early 90s, and just amazing stuff on there. And it's a mix of like really kind of good jam stuff with a big band and a lot of drums and percussion in there, and then some more kind of intimate solo stuff where she plays this Chinese Yangshin hammered dulcimer type device. And just kind of goosebumps material running throughout that thing. And it features a lot of great scenes from the film Baraka too mixed in there, which also featured Dead Can Dance music.
Oh, wow, really cool.
The guy from Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, it's just
Nice.
Baraka.
Oh my god.
It's an amazing visual kind of tone poem piece. Just no dialogue, just footage from around the world in 70 millimeter, and it's really really killer stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at this on eBay right now, and you can actually get it for a pretty good price too.
Oh,
Ooh,
really?
Yeah, hit it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about adding it to my cart. Jesus.
Do it.
Yeah, when it came out on DVD, they dropped down the sound quality to like 2-channel Dolby Digital, so it wasn't even like PCM or anything. So the LaserDisc audio quality is way better.
Yeah. Awesome.
Hell yeah. Added to cart, baby.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
Give me one.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Fuck off, I got that one.
I'm on a buying ban. I can't do it. You must do it for me. I must find every
buy
Hopefully
movie.
it comes up in a hopefully it comes up in a lot where you can sell the rest of the discs.
We're not even going to start down that road, man. Let's not get into that. All right, what's your number 3?
This is the part where I cheat. Technically not a music disc, technically a documentary, but I love it so much, and I watched it 2 more times since the last time
I think I know what it's going to be.
I'm talking about the Beatles.
I think I know what it's going to
The
be.
Beatles, Let It Be Again.
Oh.
And to be honest with you, it's because it's all music all the time. Yeah, they argue in between, but they play music the whole time. And I love the Beatles. Yeah, and I got a great copy from you, Monkey. And that's it.
Totally
So
counts.
there's me cheating my ass off.
See, I thought you were going to go to the Complete Al. I thought that's what you were going to say. Because what you were describing, it was describing
No,
that.
I'm not that cool. See, I'm not all that cool, so not as cool as all that.
Oh, yeah, so you picked the Beatles instead.
Much more lame.
Over Weird Al. Okay.
Yeah, much more lame. Much more old man.
Hey,
much more
you know
old
what?
man.
I would pick Weird Al over the Beatles any day. Easily. So.
Yeah, I know you would. You can take your turkey. You can take your Twinkie Wiener sandwich and go sit in the corner, asshole.
Maybe I will. All right. My number 3.
Red Snapper.
My number 3, and this will make Brandon laugh maybe, is Roxette the Videos. So he sold me this disc early on in my my membership at LaserDisc
Nice.
Forever, and he was happy to be rid of it, and I was happy to get it. So, which I don't know why. I love this disc. So the way sort of I judge a music disc on whether or not it's good or not is it's really down to the artist. So how many songs do they have that I like? If they only have like one song where I have to skip past all these other crappy songs to get to the ones I like, that's not a good disc. So this disc has made my list because there's a lot of their hits on here, and I love a lot of them. It's got The Look, it's got Dangerous, it's got Listen to Your Heart, It Must Have Been Love, Joyride. I mean, it's just hit after hit after hit, and it's just a very enjoyable disc. Now, it's just, their music videos one after another, so there's nothing special about it. Thankfully, there's no interviews until the very end of the disc, which I think they all should be that way, because, I don't know, I mean, when I get a music disc, I get it to listen to music, not to listen to them talk about, I mean, pick up any U2 disc, and you'll see exactly what the hell I mean. Shove it up your ass, Bono. So,
That's right.
Those guys never shut up. But anyway, it's a bunch of hits, bunch of songs I like on an awesome disc, and it sounds amazing. So that is my number 3. Let's go to number
Nice
2.
pick.
Sean, why don't you start us off?
Yes. Here's where we get to the shit. Actually, my last 2 discs are from the same guy, the same artist. And my number 2 pick is Tomoyasu Hotei's Serious Clips. This is what they call, actually, just to preface really fast, anybody who's listening to this, you know who this guy is. He's the guy who wrote that song from Kill Bill, Battle Without Honor or Humanity, the one that's at the beginning, that really rockin' one, the dun 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 dun.
And it's in every movie trailer ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wrote that song. And okay, so the one I'm talking about is called Serious Clips, and in Japan they did these music discs, and they they either do that kind of live show thing or they do what's called a clip disc, and that's basically just a music video disc. So this one is only one-sided, and it's got 6 music videos on it. And really, the videos are awful, but only in hindsight. They probably seemed really cool at the time. But he's a great guitarist, a great writer. I really dig his music, and man, you can still pick this one up for pretty cheap. I got mine for $5 from a seller from Hawaii.
Wow,
so
that's cheap.
Nice.
Yeah,
I might want that disc.
Yeah, and yeah, it's actually pretty cool, man. I mean, I think it's great. It's rock and roll music, but it's not alternative or anything. But I really dig it. He's a really great writer. I do.
Sweet.
Not a bad singer either. Yeah.
Okay, Sam, you're number 2.
It's funny. My number 2 kept changing over and over again because I wanted to have one Metallica disc, and it was going to be a year and a half in the life. But then that doesn't have that much music in it. It's more talking. And then it was going to be Cunning Stunts, which is my rarest one. But then the one I watch over and over again is Cliff 'Em All. Classic stuff. It's mostly bootleg footage that they captured back from fans to showcase their late bassist, Cliff Burton, who died in 1986. And so it's really just a tribute to him, but it's a real great capture of early, really young, hungry Metallica and some killer tunes on there. And yeah, it's a classic.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Great pick, dude. Great pick.
All right.
Thanks, y'all.
Right, you're welcome. You have great taste. You got great taste, Sam.
Awesome. So my number 2 is Krang video compilation. So yes, this is the Krang of the
Nice.
the rock music, the weekly rock music fame. This just has a whole bunch of 80s metal on it. It's got Iron Maiden, Whitesnake, Wendy O. Williams, Motorhead, Wasp, Twisted Sister. Pretty much any metal. If somebody were to ask you name some metal bands from the 80s, they're probably on here. Queensryche, Scorpions, Bon Jovi. Unfortunately, I don't know how.
Oh, you love.
I don't know how he
You
made it
secretly
on
love
here.
them.
I don't know how he made it on here, but my wife loves him, so there you go. But yeah, it's a really cool looking disc. You got this monster dude in front of a wave, and it's awesome. I highly recommend picking it up if
Can't
you
be
can find
cheap,
it.
right?
Oh no, this is an expensive one. Yeah, this is a pricey one. It almost made my number 1.
Those Japanese metal discs are.
Yeah, and this is a Japanese pressing, but I highly recommend it if you can track it down, and if you love 80s metal like I do, it's a no-brainer. You got to pick it up. So that's my number 2. So number 1. Why don't I start us off this time?
Dun dun dun.
Can either of you guess what my number 1 is?
I'm
that Depeche
Yanni
Mode
Live
one?
the Acropolis.
Yes.
No, it's even
Turd Lip himself.
It's even better than those, my friends. It is Milli Vanilli in Motion, the hit video collection. And I'm not even being ironic about this, okay? Because I know people are going to accuse me. I mean, it's got Girl, You Know It's True, Baby, Don't Forget My Number, Girl, I'm Gonna Miss You, Blame It on the Rain. Pretty much all their hits in one package. And the last one is Girl, You Know It's True Super Club Mix, which, by the way, if you listen to both of them, I can't tell the difference between the normal and the remix. It sounds exactly the same, but there you go. So 5 of, and pretty much all of their greatest hits, but it is a joy to put this disc on, to see these dudes dancing around. And I don't care what anybody says, the music itself is good. I really love the music itself. So yes, Milli Vanilli, we all know what happened. I actually think that they're more tragic than shysters, but I know a lot of people disagree with that. But it's I just love it. It's the disc itself. I mean, it's like this avocado green, awful color, and it's very early 90s. There's watermelon pink. It's just great. I love it. Dudes dancing in bicycle shorts and business jackets. It's where can he go wrong? So that's my number 1, Milli Vanilli, Emotion.
Nice.
Sam, what you got?
All right, well, I'm going to have to do a tie because I can't kick Yanni Live at the Acropolis to the curb since he didn't mention it, so that will always be in my heart. But my other number 1 is Pink Floyd Pulse.
Oh,
which
God,
I've
yes.
watched over and over and over and over again. It is it's an amazing disc. Again, there are 2 pressings. There's a DADC USA pressing you might want to steer clear of. And there's, I think, a Pioneer USA printing over here. And that one is pretty good. It helps if you have some noise reduction because there's a lot of crazy lights, especially purples and reds that can look really noisy on a bad player or a bad TV or any combination thereof. But the sound is amazing. They do all of Dark Side of the Moon. It's pretty cool because it's packaged like old records. They're prone to tearing, but the actual sleeves, the inner sleeves, are like kind of glossy paper with lots of pictures from the concert. So you're gonna have to handle them carefully when you're trying to take out these heavy discs. But killer release. But the replay value is just through the roof on that thing.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that almost made my number 1, but Milli Vanilli not only kicked it down the list, but it kicked it off the list. So.
Understandable.
Like I said, I had a hard time with this list. That was one of the ones where I really wanted to put that on the list, but I had to get Milli Vanilli on there. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Very nice. Great pick, Sam.
All right.
Great.
Oh, what do you mean, Sam?
Thank you, man.
Actually, a serious one. Yeah.
You mean great pick guys, right? Great pick guys?
Uh-oh.
That's what you mean?
Yeah, guys, if you mean Sam by guys.
All right, Shawn, what do you got for number 1? Let's see how it is.
Well, like I said, it's from the same guy as my number 4, Tomiyasu Hotei. And I want everyone listening, including you guys, to close your eyes for a minute.
Okay.
And imagine it's 1996, and you're about to see this guy play, and it's called the Space Cowboy Show.
Oh,
and then I want you to realize that every spiked motorcycle, leather outfit, light up whip, and eye laser is exactly what you're going to get out of this, because it is. And it's a great live show intercut with what they think is some kind of story having to do with a space cowboy and him kicking ass all over Japan. And I absolutely love it. And it's so bad. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's going to make me cry.
I'm sold.
It's so beautiful.
So
fucking great, man.
So good choice, Sam. Good choice, Sam.
Yeah, I agree. Sam's choice is way better than mine.
Sam's choice.
Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah, me and Sam. Me and Sam got.
Yeah, I think Sam's choice beats all of our other choices.
All right, guys.
Space Cowboy, though, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, it's really good, man. It's really, really good.
All right, so that was our top 5 music LaserDiscs. That was fun. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was
sweet.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't go wrong with music on LaserDisc because it just sounds amazing.
Yeah, and there's surprisingly a lot of shit that you would never think made it.
True, yeah.
Yeah, and some shit that I'm surprised didn't make it, which is kind of disheartening. It's really bad when I look it up and I see that it only got a PAL release. It's kind of excruciating, but...
Or, the fact that there's no Slayer LaserDiscs at all is kind of a crime against humanity.
Yeah, and there's a there's a huge lack of hip hop LaserDiscs as well. You only really get like MC Hammer and
True,
and that's about it. There's not a whole lot.
I got some of those.
Yeah,
yep.
That's a great feeling.
What?
I wish I had some of those, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right, so let's move on to the mailbag. So,
yes.
Mailbag.
Mailbag. So, Bu Elkhorn writes, "Greetings. The question I have is, how does LaserDisc collecting
or Bo
Yep. Oh, is it Bo?
God, why do we pick him to read these every time?
Bu Elkhorn. Bu Elkhorn. I like that better. That's fancier.
Oh
Nobody wants to be Bo, but
right,
lots of fancy dudes want to be Bu, okay? So Bu Elkhorn, greetings. The question I have is, how does LaserDisc collecting sit with your significant other? Mine doesn't like it much, but she puts up with it begrudgingly. So, significant others, how do they deal with your LaserDisc collecting? Shawn.
Oh, I always show my wife every disc and then tell her I bought them all for her. So, I don't know, that all of a sudden gives me a pass. But no, she likes collecting vinyl and things like that too. So, I mean, we pretty much, if you've seen pictures on Laserdisc Forever of my whole setup, I mean, she helped me pick that out from IKEA and helped me set it up. And I think she's pretty into it, to be honest with you, and I'm happy with that. She doesn't give me too much hell about buying discs. I'm really lucky, man, to be honest with you.
Great. Sam, how about you?
Yeah, I do the same thing. I buy discs for her occasionally. I just got her that Stevie Nicks one and Cinderella from Moyke recently.
Nice.
And some Practical Magic and stuff like that. So yeah, she's not like an active collector, but she really gets into going out to like the flea markets and stuff and looking for them, and has a good time talking about them in particular. So, and she's definitely not averse to sitting down and watching, firing up LD. It's not like well, put the Blu-ray on. So yeah, she's cool with it.
Cool. Yeah, my wife doesn't care in the slightest as far as the collecting aspect of it, but she does love to watch movies, and so do I. So she doesn't really care what format it's on as long as she gets to watch them. So if I buy discs that she has an interest in, we watch them, and she doesn't really care. I think a big part of that is that we have our separate, we have separate finances. She has her money, I have my money, so I'm kind of free to spend as long as I'm spending my money, so, and not hers.
Yeah.
So she just kind of gets the benefits of getting to watch movies. So works out pretty well.
Yeah, really. Yeah, good for you, dude.
Cool.
I think we all got pretty lucky in that area.
Yeah. I have heard of
yeah.
Some people having a hard time. Their wives give them a hard time about how much they buy, and people will say, "Oh, I can't spend $600 on a player. My wife would kill me if I spent that much on an obsolete, an obsolete format." So, which is understandable. I totally get that, but yeah, I think some people get more trouble than others. But Tim White asks, my question: weirdest in-person meetup for a lot or player or whatever LaserDisc related material. Have you guys had any weird Craigslist meetup stories?
No.
How about you, Sam?
Flat out no. I've only had one, so I mean, no.
Only one?
What
the hell?
Yeah, man. I live in Florida, dude. There's nothing here, man. The best thing I've ever found in the wild was fucking like 30 karaoke discs.
That's an amazing find. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, yeah. Took me 2 years to sell them.
Nothing majorly weird on my front, just slightly sketchy. You just know that they were just looking for drug money for a couple of the buys. Yeah, one was like a couple that obviously they were renting a house where somebody else previously had been an LD fan, and the discs were in the basement, and they're like, "Hey, let's sell these and buy some heroin." And then another one from Western Massachusetts is just like heroin central. So anyone trying to sell you anything there is for heroin. And so yeah, there was another one where there was someone meet me outside of Wendy's, and if you even try and strike up anything about the format, they're just like scratching their arms and like, yeah, whatever, fucker, just give me that money. So yeah, a couple of those things.
Wow.
Awesome. Yeah, I've similar for me. I haven't really been in sketchy situations. I would say the vast majority of people that I've met in regards to LaserDisc have been awesome, and they're happy to talk about the format. It's people selling either their own personal collections or selling it for a family member. So it's gone pretty well. The last lot that I picked up recently, it was about 20 discs or so. That guy was a little sketchy. I had to drive to sort of a not so great part of town, and he didn't strike me as a drug user or anything like that. But he wouldn't make eye contact, and his apartment smelled of cat. So that wasn't too bad. But he did kind of skeeve me out a little bit. But yeah, so
Nice.
That's it. Luckily, no shankings yet. Yeah, dude with a cat. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just he before he came down, he said he had to put his cat. He had to lock his cat in the bathroom. I don't know if cat had like emotional issues, or
Was he a furry?
or what? Yeah, maybe. Peter Biancardi, he's got a twofer here. A little twofer question.
Oh, that guy.
Yep, that guy. Favorite LD player and why? Sam, why don't you start us off on that one?
Quasar LD700. Why? I don't have to say why. Quasar. That's why. Drops the mic.
Awesome.
Done.
That is awesome. Yeah, no, I'm with you. My Panasonic LX900 is my favorite. I wish it were a Quasar, but it strives to someday be one. Someday it'll be a Quasar when it grows up.
It does. Yeah.
But yeah, it's I love the Panasonics. I mean, the picture quality I think is vastly superior to Pioneer. I think even the lowly level players like the LX200, I think they definitely give some of the mid to higher range Pioneers even a run for their money. So I don't know what it is.
Nice and quiet, too.
Yeah, they definitely are.
They're great players. Yeah.
Shawn, are you with us? Shawn?
Oh, you live?
Did we lose Shawn?
Uh-oh.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we cover some more questions while he's gone?
Okay, cool.
And if he rejoins, then he can just jump back in. We're almost at the end here anyway. So, his second part of his question is Shawn? Oh God, it's a question for Shawn.
We'll answer for him.
Okay, is Shawn sick of dealing with us pain in the ass members yet?
I wouldn't think so. I don't think he's sick.
No, he seems to enjoy being a moderator.
Yeah. That would be my best guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he were in the position where he was kicking people left and right, then maybe he'd be at the end of his rope. But he seems to be pretty laissez-faire. I mean, I was posting ass pictures and boob pictures, and he didn't seem to mind. So yeah. So I think I'm gonna say to that one, no, he is not sick of dealing with pain in the ass members. Sean Jones asks, who is your favorite cheesy action hero that is primarily exclusive to the LaserDisc era? Jeff Speakman, Billy Blanks, Cynthia Rothrock, and the like.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been on the hunt for some Billy Blank stuff, but I just can't find it. Like the one where he's the master, the janitor that's like also secret kung fu master.
Yes!
I've been looking for that one. I forget. It's got, it's like undefeatable or on something, but I can't find that thing to save my life.
Is that the one where he teams up with some girl named Zoe?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, because I always remember that scene in the movie where he's like, Zoe. That's Greek for life. And I've always remembered that Zoe, it means life in Greek. So,
one of us has to get that LD.
Yeah, those are great movies. I rarely see Billy Blank's movies, and when I do, they're like crazy pricey. So
yes, I mean, I think the only LDs I have for like action stars are the usual guys like the Van Dams and stuff like that. So
yeah, same here.
I don't think I have an exclusive LD actor.
Yeah, me neither. So I'm gonna go with Jean-Claude Van Damme because I got rid of my Chuck Norris stuff because I don't really like Chuck Norris, and I got rid of my Steven Seagal stuff because again I don't like him either. But the ones I do keep are the Jean-Claude Van Damme, so I'm gonna go with him. So
yeah, good call.
Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, Luke Sincata again asks 10 questions, so let's rip through these real quick. Number 1, seriously, what the hell is a LaserDisc? Who are you people, and why am I writing you? All right, Luke, go back and listen to the last episode, and just listen to our answer for that, and then that'll apply here as well. So there you go.
Still stands.
2, Maxine recently wrote a post about dinosaur movies on LD. What was that all about? Well, I can't tell you what that was all about. Can't tell you what Maxine was thinking. But Sam, what's your favorite dinosaur movie on LaserDisc?
I don't own a lot of the I don't own Carnosaur. I don't own like Baby the Lost Legend or any of that stuff. So it's it's got to be Jurassic Park probably by default.
Lame.
I'm guessing.
Oh, come on, lame.
I know. I wish I had something better for you. Sorry.
Yeah, I got to go with the Carnosaur trilogy.
All right.
That's it for me. The Carnosaur trilogy. Masterpieces.
All right. I'm down with that.
Yep. Let's see here. My wife recently had so this is number 3. My wife recently had a baby. What are some good movies centered around a baby? Willow, 3 Men and a Baby, Hamlet, Baby's Day Out. All right, what do you got?
Train Spotting.
Oh God, Sam.
Train Spotting.
Why? How could you? You are a monster.
I know. I love it.
I'm gonna have to go with Dead Alive. That's my pick. Dead Alive.
All right. Nice. Horrible people.
We're going to hell. Number 4. How many times have you watched Golden Eye Pond? Wait, okay. How many times have you watched on Golden Eye Pond on LD? It's 42. That's my answer. How about you, Sam? How many times have you watched on Golden Eye Pond?
At least 3.
At least 3? Okay.
3.5.
Perfect. 3.5. Okay. Couldn't make it that last time. Only made it halfway. Number 5, Sam, how did you start your Bond collection? Have you always been a Bond fan? How many do you have? How many Bond discs were made? You can answer that in any way you please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was a Bond fan and huge into him, but I was also kind of like terrorized by the size of the collection on LD, so I would just usually rent them on VHS over and over again. And back in the day, I only bought, I think, the Connery collection and maybe a handful. So I didn't really start collecting them on LD until recently. I already had all the DVDs and Blu-rays, and I'm like, I need to get all the Bond films. The number of titles is near incalculable. I've got, for the Japanese widescreen, they go all the way from Dr. No up to The World Is Not Enough. So that's 19. And then that's the canonical series. There's also Casino Royale and Never Say Never Again. But there's also multiple pan and scan versions from Japan. There's the pan and scan versions from the States, the widescreen versions from the States. So I've got a good, I'm looking at like three cubes of an IKEA Kallax loaded with James Bond discs right now. So that's
now, are you a
amount.
completionist collector? Do you collect different versions of the same film?
Yeah, only for James Bond. Everything else I really don't care about. So I decided to go on a foolish quest to get every single NTSC pressing in even horrible pan and scan and widescreen and everything. Yeah, from every country I can possibly get.
Nice. Yeah, I do the same thing with a few titles, so I totally get it. Let's see here. So this question is for Shawn. Shawn, how did you start your anime collection? Shawn, how did you start your anime collection?
Well, I was walking down the street and I looked in this window and I saw this busty young lady and she was animated and I thought, well, I better go in there and check that out. And then I saw a bunch of other busty ladies and thought, I should buy about like 6 or 7 of these. And I went home and I touched myself.
Shawn, are there still big ticket items you're looking for as far as anime, I guess?
Well, yeah, anything with C cups to E cups and a minimum of tentacles.
What was the first anime you really got into? I'll let you answer that as Sam. How's that? Since you could probably answer that.
Juggernauts. Oh wait, no, that's me. First anime I got into was Macross.
Nice. Let's see here. As an 86-year-old man that has never been able to get into anime, what series would you suggest I start with?
Oh man, Dirty Pair, Cowboy Bebop, Macross. Those are my favorites. Or maybe just watch Akira. Start with that.
Generally, I stay quiet during the anime talk, but I will actually second your choice of Cowboy Bebop. That's a fantastic series, and I think it's got a broad appeal. So, Ninja Scroll, I would also say.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah, despite the usual anime weirdness, it's actually got a very nice and coherent story. So, I would say definitely check that out. Let's see here. Michael, you seem to have a really shitty taste in almost everything. How did that happen? You know what it is? I feel like, the combination of low budgets and high passions is something that just really speaks to me when it comes to movies. I don't love everything that's low budget because sometimes you can tell nobody cares about what they're actually doing. They're just phoning it in. They kind of have in mind that nobody's going to see it, and there's just no passion there. But a lot of the times, when you're looking at a low budget movie, it's someone's dream to make that movie, and they don't have much to work with, and they do the best they can, and it really comes across on the screen. And to me, that sort of taking very little and making something entertaining out of it, and seeing somebody pour their heart into something. To me, that I'll watch that any day over Manhattan or any other Woody Allen piece of shit movie that nobody cares about.
High concept, low budget is great.
Yeah, when I'm watching a Woody Allen movie, I feel nothing. I feel numb. It's dull. There's no passion. It's just, to me, it's a blank slate. But when I'm watching, what is it, Space Preachers, the Troma movie? I mean, that movie. The acting is not great. The budget's not there, but you can tell whoever made that movie, they actually cared about it, and the writing is actually spot on. So, people say it's shitty taste, but I don't know. I think I'm being true. I'm being true to myself. So there you go. There's something to be said for that.
My alternative would be to Manhattan would be Darren Aronofsky's Pi. Check that out.
Let's see here. What other things do you collect? Are LDs the only thing? Sam, do you collect anything else other than LaserDiscs?
No, Blu-rays, DVDs, CDs like crazy, and books, and that's about it, really. Just media.
So just media. You don't collect any No glass cats or anything?
No, never got into that, and I'm a musician, but I don't really like to collect guitars or anything like that. I just like to use the ones I have. So yeah, that's about it, really. Just films and music and books. So I know I'm pretty boring.
Well, and there's also a space issue, I'm sure. I mean, you got to have room for,
absolutely.
for
yeah.
collections. And, yeah.
For sure.
So for me, it's vintage computers, which does actually take up a lot of space, and I struggle with that daily. So I probably should pare down at some point. And also big box PC games. So, I collect vintage computers. I got to have something to play on them. And so I collect big box PC games. They also take up a lot of room. So it's, being into that hobby of older computers and old software, it takes up a lot of room. So I have to be very picky about what I actually collect.
Yeah, I just got rid of my Commodore.
Yeah, and hey, Sam, if you ever want to get into Commodore again, you just let me know.
All right, I will.
I've got about a dozen. I'll send you one for free.
Nice. I was also a big Atari ST guy.
Oh, nice. Oh, God, I wish I had an Atari ST.
Oh, I can hook you up.
That's a fine system right there.
1040, man.
Do it. I'll trade you a Commodore for it.
All right, wait.
Sweet. Number 9, if the square root of 67 was a LaserDisc, which one would it be? Do you have an answer for that stupid question?
Yeah, it's arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia. Nice. Well, if it was the square root of 69, I would definitely say that that LaserDisc would be... I don't know. Debbie Does Dallas. There you go.
Okay.
Number 10. Why is Ophelia mad? Does anything she say make sense? What happens to her at the end of Act 4? What does her madness and death symbolize about the kingdom? Sam, does any of that make sense to you?
She's mad because Hamlet won't give her any. She's looking for some action, and
it's a Hamlet.
Yeah, and he's too busy kind of on his revenge quest, and he can't get it up. So she's dealing with her dad and her brother, and they're a bunch of losers, and she just wants some Hamlet loving. So that stresses her out, and she takes her life.
Okay, well, that is the end of this technically challenged LaserDiscotheque episode 3.
I love it.
Thank you for listening. And hopefully Shawn is still alive wherever he is.
We wish you well.
Catch you on the flip. All right.
Peace.